My name's Jess, and the yoga class we're going to do today is a strengthening class, so we're going to be strengthening the whole body and focusing in on individual muscles as we go. Okay, so we're going to start with our toes tucked under and sitting back on our heels. So make sure all 10 toes are tucked, sit back as far as you can. So then we want to make sure the spine is nice and stacked, lift up through the chest, roll the shoulders down the back, and just rest the palms down on the legs. Just drop the chin to the chest slightly. Maybe even close the eyes down here. Making sure we don't slouch, keep the spine nice and straight. We're just going to start to connect with our breath. Just starting to notice your natural rhythm. Then on your next inhale, I want you to take a count to 4. Hold it for a second, and then as you exhale, that same count to 4. On your next inhale, we're going to take the hands overhead. Nice mindful movements as we go. Pull the hands to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, just float them back down by your sides. Inhale, hands up. Take the gaze up with you. Exhale to lower them down. One more time, big inhale. Big exhale. And rest the hands down there. Drop the chin to the chest, and we're just going to start to roll the chin from side to side, as if you're making semicircles across the chest. And just paying attention to how your neck is feeling. If it's okay, then you can make full circles, taking the gaze right up to the ceiling and down the opposite side. So just taking a couple of rolls this way, and when your chin next meets your chest, take those rolls the opposite way. And when your chin next meets your chest, bring the head up to center. I'm going to start to roll the shoulders right up to the ears, squeeze them up as tight as you can, and then as you roll them down the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. This big inhale as you come up, exhale as we squeeze together down the back. One more this way. And then take those rolls the opposite way. So now you'll pull the shoulder blades back behind you and then roll the shoulders forwards. Make these moves as big and exaggerated as you can. Really pull them up as high as you can towards your ears. One more here. And then relax. And we're going to take the left hand behind you, fingers to the floor. Take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Pull the hand up, lift the chest as high as you can. Take a big inhale, find extra length, and then as you exhale, we swoop in the hand. Take the right hand behind you, left hand comes up. Lift the chest. Exhale, swoop. Inhale, right hand to the ceiling. Exhale, round, right hand to the floor. Pull the left hand up. So this time as we come round, we plant the left hand behind, and as we take the right hand up, we push the hips up with you. And exhale, swoop round. Take the right hand behind you. Inhale, left hand up, push the hips up with it. Exhale, swoop. Plant that left hand down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift those hips. Exhale back. Nice, come to center. From here now we're going to untuck the toes, sit back on the heels. Take the hands behind you, stay high on the fingertips. Lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the chin tucked to the chest, and we're just going to start to pull the knees off the floor. Keep the chest lifted. You should feel a nice stretch on the front of the foot. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, lower down, nice and slowly. Hands come in front of you. Now we're going to tuck the toes under and come back, push over the feet until your feet are planted down. So we're coming into our Malasana, a yogi squat. So have a little play around. We want the feet planted, toes turned out by 45 degrees, knees facing the same way. So most people right mat distance apart, but have a play around. You might find you want to come closer. If the heels aren't down, take it a little wider. Hands to your heart center. Press the backs of the arms onto the inside of the knees. Lift the chest. Work on tucking that tailbone under. Take a big inhale here. Find extra length. Exhale. Now really engage that core. On your next inhale, we're going to shoot all the way up to standing. And as you exhale, we're going to come all the way back down into your Ymuna. Inhale, shooting up. Take the gaze up to the ceiling. Exhale to lower. Nice, one last time. Big inhale. Big exhale. Nice, I'm going to plant the hands down in front of you. Start to walk the hands forwards and find your downward dog. So here you want to make sure the hands are shoulder distance, your feet are hip distance. Then as you lift the hips to the ceiling, bend into the knees, come up onto the tiptoes. Then as you push through the hands, think about sending the chest to the thighs. So we want to find a nice straight spine. Then as you start to pedal through the legs, taking the stretch into the hamstrings, into the calf. Keep sending the chest to the thighs, keep strong through the upper body. And we're going to roll the body forward slightly, so the bum is still in the air. Think about sending the elbows away from each other. Lower down, keep the core strong. Take the face towards the floor. Take a big inhale, push back up, chest to thighs. On your next exhale, roll forward slightly. Take the elbows out into a down dog push-up. Come back up, push back into downward dog. One more time, roll the body forward slightly. Elbows away from each other, lower the face down. Inhale up, push the body back. Take a little pedal through the legs. Come back to that count of 4 in the breath. On your next exhale, we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Turn the toes out slightly, sink the bum down into your Ymuna. Relax the shoulders down and back. Plant the hands down, walk them forwards, hips to the ceiling, downward dog. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, walk the hands back, sink the bum down. Hands to heart center, Ymuna. And again, hands to the floor. Walk the hands forwards, hips to the ceiling, downward dog. Big inhale, and on your exhale, hands back. Ymuna, relax the shoulders. Push the backs of the arms onto the inside of the knees. Sink into this just for a couple of breaths. Inhaling for 4 seconds. Exhaling for 4 seconds. Nice. Then hands to the floor. We're going to walk the hands forwards and find your downward dog again. This time, we're going to shift the weight forwards into plank. So we want a nice strong plank. Push the floor away from you. Shoulder blades are down the sides of the body. And we're going to start to sink the hips towards the floor, keeping the toes tucked under. Keep the shoulders pulling back. Chest pulls forwards. Take a big inhale, so we start to lift the hips back to the ceiling, pushing the chest back towards the thighs. Inhale, roll forwards, plank. Start to sink the hips down. Lift the chest. Take the gaze up. Inhale, downward dog. Big exhale when you get there. Inhale to plank. Lower the hips. Lift the head. Exhale back. Downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here in your down dog. Keep the chest pushing towards the thighs. Make sure the pressure is nice and equal through the hands as we start to slowly lift the right leg to the ceiling. Really stretch that leg up as high as you can. Feel a nice big stretch on that left leg. And take a big inhale, find length. As you exhale, we're going to draw the leg underneath. See if you can aim the knee towards the chin. Inhale as we send the leg back to the ceiling. Exhale as we draw the knee towards the right elbow. Hover it there. Inhaling up. Exhale, knee towards the left elbow. Twist through that center spine. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Hold it there for a second. Then step the foot to the outside of the right hand. So this is our lizard lunge. So we want to make sure the chest is pulling through the arm space. We're high on the back toes. The back leg is nice and straight. Pull the chest forwards. Activate that left glute. We're going to keep the left hand on the floor as we start to peel the right hand to the ceiling. Take the gaze up with you. Exhale back. And we're going to lower that back knee down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Keep the chest pulling forwards. Roll the body forwards so that you feel the top part of your knee on the floor. And then we're going to start to pull the heel in towards the bum. Make sure the hips haven't risen. We want to keep pushing the hips down towards the floor. Should feel a nice big stretch along that left hip flexor. Keep sinking those hips down, pulling the heel in as tight as you can. On your next exhale, lower down, nice and controlled. Just enough that you don't feel your knee rolling. Inhale, squeeze it in. So we're just using the strength of our hamstring to pull it in as tight as you can. Exhale as we lower. One more time, big inhale. Hold it there. Now with the left hand, find length. And then we're going to reach it around, and maybe you find the foot. If you don't, then we're working with the twist. Draw the right shoulder back. If you have a hold of the foot, then you can use this to start to pull it in, taking that stretch more into the quad and deeper into the hip flexor. Try not to sink into the left hand. We're still pushing through, still have length through the spine. Bringing the right hand back to the floor, lowering the foot down, tuck the toes under, lift the knee away. And we're going to start to walk the hands around to the left side of the mat. Ground down through that back heel, turn the right toes to face forwards. So we're in this side lunge. We want to sink all the way over as far as you can. If it's accessible for you, bring the hands to your heart center. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders down the back, just like in Amalasana. If you're here, keep the hands down for support. Now, you can keep the hands down or hands to heart center. We're going to start to shift the weight over to the left leg. Stay as low as you can. Coming into this on the left side. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Take a big inhale as we shift over to the right. And exhale when you get there. One more time on the left. Then this time we're going to come up high into the center of the mat. Bring the hands onto your hips. Make sure the toes are facing the same way. Find length through the spines. Take a big inhale, lift the chest. Then as you exhale, we're hinging from the hips. Think about lowering the head towards the floor, but with a straight spine. So as soon as you feel your spine rounding, then stop folding. If you find your head finds the floor, then walk the feet in closer together. When you're at your maximum fold, drop the hands into the center of the mat. Inhale, find a half lift. So we want to find this straight spine where the chest can pull forwards, the shoulders can pull back. Take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, see if you can fold just a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, find the half lift. And this time we're going to plant the right hand in the center of the mat. As we inhale, we're peeling the left hand to the ceiling, taking the gaze up with it. So really draw the left shoulder back. Draw the right shoulder forwards underneath you. Take a big inhale, find that extra bit of length. And then as you exhale, float the left hand down. Inhale, right hand up. Gazing up to the ceiling. Really lengthen through those arms. Think about stacking the shoulders. Exhale down. Bringing your hands back onto your hips. Nice and slowly, start to roll up to center. Keeping the hands onto the hips, start to wiggle the feet away from each other until the toes are facing the corners of your mat. And then as we start to bend into the knees, we want to make sure that they start to move the same way as the toes. So if you find your knees are falling in, turn the toes in. If you can, really open out through the hips, keep the chest nice and lifted into our goddess. We're going to place the hands onto the knees and start to sway from side to side, sinking the bum closer and closer towards the mat. And come into center, find a nice deep goddess. We're going to start to slowly lift the left heel from the floor, really activating those calves. Exhale to lower. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, coming up onto both toes. Find the balance. Exhale down. Hands to your heart center. Inhale as you straighten out the arms, straighten out the legs. Turn all toes to face the front of the mat. Frame the right foot. Step back into your plank. Send the hips straight up into your downward dog. Take a little pedal through the legs, take a little wiggle through the hips. And again, making sure the pressure's equal in the hands. On your next inhale, float the left leg up. As you exhale, draw the knee underneath you. Squeeze it in. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, take the knee to the left elbow. Inhale high. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, foot to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. Hold it there. And then step the foot to the outside of the hand. Into your lizard lunge. Send the chest through the arm space. Keep nice and strong in that back leg. Keeping the right hand on the floor. And start to peel the left hand to the ceiling. Work on stacking the shoulders. Left shoulder draws back. On your next exhale, that hand floats back to the floor. Dropping that back knee down, untuck the toes. Roll the hips down as far as you can. Try not to let the knee come over the ankle. And keep the chest pulling forwards. Make sure you're on the top part of the knee. And then nice and controlled, starting to pull the heel up towards the bum. Squeezing it in as tight as you can. Really strengthening that hamstring. Then as you exhale, nice and mindfully, lowering down. Take a big inhale, really squeeze it in. Exhale as you lower. One more time, pulling that heel up towards the bum. And then with the left hand, we're going to reach around, either just working on the twist, or if you have a hold of the foot, start to draw that heel in a little closer. Feeling that extra stretch on that right leg. Push through the right hand. And nice and carefully lowering the foot, bringing the hand back to the floor. This time, tucking the toes under, bringing the knee off the floor. We're going to grind down through that back heel, walk the hands to the center of the mat, turn the left toes to face forwards. Sinking all the way over to the left side, bring the hands to your heart center, or again, keeping them down for support. Either way, the chest is lifted, the tailbone is tucked. On the next inhale, we're going to keep as low as we can as we shift the weight over to the right, into your side lunge. Inhale to the left. Keep that chest lifted. Exhale when you get there. One more time, onto the right. This time, hands down. Inhale, lift the hips up into your forward fold. Nice and carefully, start to roll through the spine, coming up to standing. Set up your forward fold. Toes facing forwards. This time, we're going to take the hands behind. We're going to straighten out the arms as much as you can. Lift the chest. And then start to pull the hands away from the body. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, we're folding forwards and just letting the hands fall overhead. So you should be feeling a nice big stretch in the front of the shoulders and to the chest. Should be feeling the weight a little more in the toes down, so really ground down through those. Just allowing the arms to feel heavy. Nice and mindfully, on your next inhale, start to roll back up. Push through the legs. And then when you're there, release the hands. Give them a shake off. And bring them onto your hips. And start to wiggle those toes away from each other. Coming into your goddess. Knees face the same way as the toes. Sinking down as far as you can. This time we're going to place the right forearm onto the knee. The left hand is going to swoop up to the ceiling and then letting that bicep come towards the ear. So finding this length through the whole left side of the body. Making sure we're not sinking into the right elbow. Push through that. Feel like you're rolling your ribs back. Take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, we're floating the arms over. Forearm onto the left knee. Right hand comes up and over. Gazing up to the ceiling, really roll that right shoulder back. Keep the bum sinking down. Take a big inhale, windmill the arms. Exhale when you get there. Inhale over to the left. Exhale. And as you windmill the arms, we're going to come to frame the right foot at the top of the mat. Step back into your plank. This time we're going to lower through our chaturanga. So shift the weight forwards over the wrists. Bend the elbows back into the ribs as you lower the whole body down to the floor. Untuck the toes, take a big inhale as you lift the chest to the ceiling. As you exhale, we're rolling over the knees, tucking the toes, push the hips up into your downward dog. Sink into your down dog, let the chest push towards the thighs. And on your next inhale, the right leg floats up. As you exhale, we draw the knee under the body, step the foot just halfway up the mat. Then as you inhale, come up to standing. Sink down through that back heel. So the right foot is facing forwards, the left foot is just turned out about 45 degrees. Then we want to pull the left hip forwards. So you should already be feeling a bit of a stretch on that left hip flexor. We're going to take the hands behind and just join opposite hand to elbow. Lift through the chest. Roll the shoulders down the back. Then think about leading with the chin as you start to fold over that front leg. So you should now be feeling a big stretch on the right hamstring and into the glute. Once you feel like you're at your maximum fold with a straight spine, tuck the chin to the chest and find a drishti point, a point in front of you to focus on, something on your mat. And we're going to bend slightly into that front knee, start to shift the weight forwards, start to float the left leg from the floor. Keep the chest pulling forwards, see if you can bring that left leg right up to hip height. Keep the shoulders pulling away from you. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, start to bend into that right leg. Hold it. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to lower. Inhaling up. Really squeeze that right glute. Exhale down. On your next inhale, straighten out that right leg. Then pull the left knee forwards, keeping it off the floor, pull it into the chest. Drop it down in front of you, turn the right toes out slightly. Rotate the right hip forwards. So it should feel as though your hips are squared with the front of the mat. Hands are still joined behind you, chest is still nice and lifted. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, start to fold over that left leg. Keep pulling that right hip forwards. If you're not feeling a stretch on that left leg, pull it further forwards. Keep the chest pulling towards the front of your mat. Find that drishti point. Find that point to focus on. And start to bend into that left knee. Start to float the right leg from the floor. Really activate those glutes. Take a big inhale, find length. As you exhale, start to bend into that left leg. Keep the right leg up. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to lower. Just halfway. Inhaling up. Exhale down, nice and controlled. Last one, straighten out the leg. Keeping that right leg up. Then we're going to draw the right leg through. Bringing it into the knee. Release the hands. Drop the leg to the floor. Hands pull to the ceiling. Take a big inhale, find length. As you exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor. On an inhale, find a half lift. Chest forward, shoulders back. As you exhale, hands to the floor. Step or jump back into your plank. Lower through your chaturanga. Body nice and strong, elbows in the ribs. Inhale through. Lift the chest into your up dog. Exhale back into your down dog. On your next inhale, the right leg lifts. This time as we exhale, the knee is coming behind the right wrist. The foot is coming across to the left-hand side of the mat. We're sinking the left leg back into a pigeon. So take a little look back, make sure that leg's nice and straight. Then rotate the hips forwards. So again, squaring them with the front of the mat. So you should feel a nice stretch on the left hip flexor and on the outside of the right glute. If you're not, then you can start to wiggle the foot away from you, squaring it off with the front of the mat. If this is the case, then flex the foot. The closer it is towards the body, the more accessible this will feel, and just let the foot fall wherever it wants to. Walk the hands in towards the body, lift through the chest. As you exhale, we're going to walk them away, folding the body over the leg. And you can either create a shelf with the arms, or really take the arms out, allowing the chest and the head to sink to the floor. Every inhale, taking that count of 4. Every exhale, the same count of 4. On your next inhale, we're going to walk the hands in towards the body. Shift the weight over to the right hand side, keeping the left leg as straight as you can. As you swing it round, tap the top of the mat. Inhale, we're going to swing it back. Square the hips up, lift the chest. And then shift the weight over, bring that leg round. Tap the top of the mat. Exhale back, square the hips. Inhale, swing round. Last one, tap. Back into your pigeon. Nice strong pigeon, keep the hands down for support, keep the chest lifted. And like in our lizard, we're then going to start to bend into the knee. Squeezing that heel up towards the bum as tight as you can. Exhale down. If this ever feels too much on the lower back, just take the hands a step out in front. Inhale, squeeze it in, keep the chest pulling forwards. Exhale down. Nice, one last time. Big squeeze, really strengthening that hamstring. Exhale down. Nice, keeping the hands where they are, where you feel supported. We're going to tuck the back toes under. And we're going to lift the knee off the floor. Start to shift the hips forwards. So it's almost as if you're rolling onto that shin. Push the hips forwards. Push through that back toe. Exhale down. So you might find you need the hands down, but if you really want to challenge, hands to your heart center. Inhale, push the hips forwards and up. Push through that back leg. Exhale down. One last time, nice and controlled. And exhale down. Nice. Hands back to the floor. Lift the knee away from the mat. Step back into your plank. Lower through your chaturanga. Nice and controlled. Inhale to up dog. Exhale over the knees, back into your downward dog. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale into your pigeon this side. So put the knee behind the wrist. The foot crossed to the right hand side. The right leg sinks back. So first of all, just checking that leg's nice and straight. Then roll the right hip forwards. Have a little play around with your leg positioning. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Walk the hands in, lift through the chest. And as you exhale, just float forwards. Taking a couple of nice big deep breaths here. Just noticing if one side feels a little stiffer than the other. Noticing if your left glute is off the floor, maybe pop a cushion underneath. And on your next inhale, starting to walk the hands back in. Shift the weight over to the left side. I'm going to keep that right leg straight as we swing it round. Tap the top of the mat. Exhale back. Straighten it behind you into your pigeon. Roll that right hip down. Inhale as we swoop it round. Tap the top of the mat. Exhale back into pigeon. One last time. Work on that hip mobility. Tap the top. Exhale back. Squaring off the hips. So again, hands down for support. Take a big inhale as we start to pull the heel in towards the bum. Squeezing it in. Exhale, lower it down, nice and controlled. Inhale and really squeeze in. Exhale to lower. One last time, squeezing it in as tight as you can. Make sure the hips aren't lifted. Exhale down. Nice. Tucking the toes under. Start to lift the knee away from the floor. Start to push the hips forwards. And you might find that the hands want to stay down. Nice and controlled, we lower everything back into your pigeon. Maybe the hands can come to heart center. Inhale as you lift the chest, push the hips forwards, push through that back leg. Exhale down. One last time, big inhale, really strong, really activate those glutes. Exhale to lower. Nice, this time, as we sink over to the left, we're going to swing the legs around, straighten both legs out in front of you. Hands come behind you, fingers facing towards your feet. Push through the hands, lift the chest. And on your next inhale, start to lift the hips to the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades together underneath you. You might find this is too much and you want to bend through the knees, come into a tabletop. Either way, you can either keep the gaze down towards the floor, or you can take it all the way behind you and gaze towards the back of the mat. On your next exhale, we're going to lower down nice and slow, coming up to seated. Cross at the ankles, roll back. As we roll forwards, we're coming over, stepping back into plank. Looking forwards, stepping the feet to behind the wrists. So we're going to come into an arm balance. This is our crow. So we want hands at shoulder distance. We want the feet behind the wrists. So bend into the knees. Then as you come up onto the tiptoes, try and get the knees right up into the armpits. As we shift the weight forwards, the elbows are bending back. The backs of the arms are a shelf for our legs. And just start to hover one foot off the floor at a time. And this may be where you're working. If you want to come into full crow, both feet hover off the floor, squeezing them up towards the bum. Keep focused on something to help you balance, and nice and slowly, bringing the feet back to the floor. You can step or jump back into your plank, lower through your chaturanga. Take a big inhale to up dog, roll the shoulders down the back, lifting the chest. As you exhale, lower the whole body to the floor. This time we're going to take the hands out in front of you. Keep the hands planted on the floor. As you inhale, we're going to start to peel the feet up. Keep the hips on the floor. As you exhale, lower down. On your next inhale, the feet push into the floor. Peel the chest off the floor, taking the hands to the ceiling. As you exhale, down. Inhale to lift the feet, lift the hands. Hold it there. Take a big inhale, find length. As you exhale, we're going to pull the elbows back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale forwards, find length. Exhale, peel the shoulders back. One more time. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Nice, then lower the hands under the shoulders. Push back over the knees. Bring the bum back onto the heels. And just let the hands stay out in front. Resting the head of the chest to the floor. Come back to your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to roll forwards onto our hands and our knees. Cross the knees over, see if you can roll straight back onto your bum, into a cross-leg position. From here, take a big inhale, hands to the ceiling. As you exhale, let the hands fall to the floor. Walk them out as far as you can. Keep pressing into them so the sit bones are still pressing into the floor. And just let the body fall forwards. On your next inhale, the hands walk back in towards the body. Start to straighten out the legs. But keep a bend through the knees. Pull forwards as far as you can. And then as you exhale, think about every vertebrae one by one, starting to touch the mat. So just nice and controlled, lowering down until the whole back is flat on the mat. When you're there, bring the heels in towards the bum. Ideally, so far that you can touch the heels with the fingertips. And pressing the hands down into the mat, take a big inhale as you start to peel the hips up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing through the feet, pushing through the hands. Feel like you're trying to send your chest towards your chin. As you exhale, we're rolling down the spine. Tailbone touches last. Take a second for that to reset and just step the feet out a little further. On your next inhale, we're peeling the hips up. Activate those glutes. Activate the thighs. Take a big inhale, feel it lifting a little higher. Exhale as we control the roll down. And then take the feet out a little further. Inhale, lift the hips. So it should feel a little harder now. Keep strong through the legs. And as you exhale, nice and slowly, as we lower down. Nice, then hug the knees into the chest. Just hugging them in, take a little rock from side to side. And coming into your happy baby, so the hand on each knee. I'm going to part the knees towards the armpits. Take the soles of the feet to the ceiling. So you might find you can just take a hold behind the thighs, keep the feet flexed. Or if you can come a little deeper, I'm going to take a hold to the outside of the feet. And then start to work the knees down towards the armpits, trying to create a right angle through the knee to the ankle. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Maybe taking a little sway from side to side. Just starting to loosen off the back. And then bringing the knees back close together. Just letting your knees fall over to the left-hand side, stretching the right arm out beside you, and take the gaze down the right shoulder. So then drawing the knees back through centre, letting them fall over to the right-hand side, stretching out the left hand, and taking the gaze down that left hand. On your next inhale, coming back through centre. Then we're just going to straighten out the legs, let the feet fall to about mat distance apart. Take the arms down beside you, face the palms to the ceiling. Feel the whole body flat on the mat. And just closing the eyes down, we'll start to soften the gaze. Let the breath come back to that regular rate. Feeling your natural rhythm. And starting to feel the whole body softening. Relaxing through the face, relaxing through the stomach, allowing the legs to just feel heavy, feeling the body melting away. Just having a few moments here. Thanking yourself for this time. And thanking your body for what it's allowed you to do. In your own time, making your way up to seated. And just finding a comfortable cross-leg position. And that's our class done. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.